All right. All right. So thanks. Yeah. So this is well, this is where actually this is where my view, okay, of where we live in this is called Zhongli, which is the northern part of Taiwan. Yeah. This is yeah, basically I mean my wife, I mean she's working here, yeah. So that's and
Wow.
yeah. So what would you yeah, actually right now is the today is Chinese New Year. Uh, but
Oh,
I like to do a checking. Okay. I figure you
oh,
probably have
okay.
schedule already. Yeah. So we can still do a
I
check.
didn't realise.
Uh,
Sorry.
yeah. So yeah, maybe you like to share some win. Um,
Yeah. So, well, look, I think so. We'll try and be quick then. What I write down. Okay. So I've achieved a new office basically. So I've kind of given notice on this place here, and I'm going to a new place, which is slightly closer to where I live, but it's also it's just a better office. I'm going to I've got another meeting with a marketing company for income sec. So in the context of systemizing and getting that running, so it's getting rid of the 80%. I'm going to be doing that, and then I signed up with Flow on Friday. Or was it
oh,
Thursday?
okay.
So the Stephen Kotler thing, right?
Yes. Right. Actually, I've been listening to the Art of Impossible. Yes. Yep.
Okay. So
Yep.
his whole thing on the back of that, I'll be doing
Mhm.
that, and then yeah. So that's that, and then March, June, and July. It's just planning for that. That's kind of when I say that. My wife wants us to go to Bali for March. She's planned something for July for my birthday, and we've got this thing in Canada in June. So yeah, there we go.
Hey, great. Sounds like you are setting yourself for some high flow moments. It's
I hope so.
already in the plan, in the schedule. That's great. All right, okay. So some I guess some wins on my part. Well, actually, the Chinese New Year family gathering. Okay, just a couple of Chinese New Year's Eve, a couple of days ago. It was quite good. It was a quite good experience. Okay, we had a great family dinner, and also, kids were doing things, and we were watching My Fair Lady. Okay, that's the latest film my daughter has been, interested in, and which actually stir up a little dismay on the part of my Iris. Okay, because she's being quite she's kind of like I guess a somewhat a towards women's rights. Okay, she's actually being quite versed in female writers. She's a female writer herself, and yeah,
Right.
basically, and I don't know if you watched the film My Fair Lady. It was the old English gentleman's view about women, about non-English people. Basically, very politically incorrect from today's standard. And so that was
Ah, but but that's not the story though, is it really?
no, yeah,
That because
I mean, yeah. Oh, go ahead.
the interesting thing is you say that. I was thinking about My Fair Lady this morning because when I first went to college, I went there because I wanted to do drama. I didn't end up doing drama, but I had to do an audition, and the audition was with Pygmalion, and Pygmalion is the play that My Fair Lady was taken from. And on
Really?
Friday, yeah,
Wow.
on Friday, if you remember that I wrote it down, actually, it's the Pygmalion effect, right? So that's Ben was talking about the Pygmalion effect, how circumstance and so that's a psychological term. And I didn't ask this, but I wondered whether or not the Pygmalion effect, the name comes from the play, because it was the whole play was about how you can take somebody out of one environment and subject them to influences that changes them completely. from another environment and say that's the play, that's the name of the play, and that's where My Fair Lady comes from. So it's quite interesting
Wow,
that
that's so
those were the
fascinating. That's
thoughts
so
in my head over the weekend, and then you were watching the film.
that's so fascinating. Okay, yeah. So basically, the win here, though. I mean, so well, the short thing was, I was pissing my wife off, and she was like really upset at the because she was only watching the first 20 minutes with us. So in the past, this would not turn out pretty. Just that's the short version for that. And like she was questioning, like, you haven't watched a movie in years and you let your daughter watch this? No, things like that. However, then it turned into something of a win because I was essentially saying, yeah, I understand. I apologize. I haven't watched the film last time I watched like 2 decades later when I was in, high school, something like that. So I wasn't aware of the things. However, I do think that that's less of a point. I mean, the more important thing is what do we take from it, right? You can see something that's not so good, but you can try to see what's your interpretation, what's your learning. As long as you are teaching our kids about how to watch it with the proper perspective, right? In a sort of a learning perspective. So I think well, the win here and the lesson for me is actually there's always a brighter side of things you can look at and to take action and to act it positive upon, even if you started with something that doesn't that's kind of bad, like you're dealt with a bad hand of cards, but you can still play it nicely if you have the right mindset and attitude. And it sort of kind of turned that around. Yeah, and I had a conversation with my daughter saying that, look, yeah, we, into this 20 minutes, but dad is happy to pause this and we can discuss if this is something suitable, if you'd like to continue. And she said yes. So, we discussed about some of the, potential issues. So that turned into a pretty good education experience, and a daddy-daughter talk.
Well,
So,
I'm sorry, you're reading way too much into that. I tell you what, it was written I think Pygmalion, if I'm not wrong, was written by Oscar Wilde, who was a gay man. So in fact, I'm just gonna have to search this. Pygmalion. I'm sure it was written by Oscar Wilde. Oh no, George Bernard Shaw. Okay, fine.
okay. Okay.
So
Yeah.
look, at the end of the day, it's a love story,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It's
It
a
is.
love story between two completely opposite parts. So the woman herself plays, she sells flowers in the markets in Covent Garden. So not far away from being a prostitute, really, in the social context. And then the bloke is completely the opposite. He's almost not quite aristocratic, but he might as well be for the way he behaves. And it's just how these opposites can attract, and they grow to love each other through because they recognize the qualities in each other that are good, or as opposed to what you first see, which is the qualities which are bad. So if you judge it on the first part, you're not watching it through to the end. You're not watching it for what it is, because you can the play and the film shows how these two characters come together. If you're into love stories, I'm personally am not.
Thanks. Thanks for sharing that. But I think that's a good lesson. That's a lot of the, I guess, dichotomy, the conflicts is because we haven't spent enough time, right, to watch the second play, right, or the third play. Okay. Okay. All right. So
Anyway,
that's my win. Okay. All
cool.
right. All right. So
Well, look,
anything you'd like to discuss for today?
no, I think, look, if it's Chinese New Year and you guys, you need to be with your family. So I'm more than happy just to knock this on the head now. Had I realised, and I'm sorry I didn't, but had I realised, I would have said we just not do today, because it's better for you to have some time with your guys, because you're not going to be doing
Wow.
any work today. So
Right. Right.
at
Okay.
least it's
Yeah. Okay, yeah,
focus on.
but but basically happy to check in if there's any, I guess, thoughts you like to chat about, discuss. Yeah. So,
Not really. I mean, like, look,
okay,
have you arranged your trip to Canada yet?
okay. This is in the booking process now. Okay, I'm waiting for some final confirm of the schedule, but basically book. I'll be, I think, departing on May 5th. To Canada, and then I'll be in, again for 2 months, and then going to Collision, and probably arriving a day before. Okay, a day before the actual event, and then departing, again a day after. Right now it's set to July 1st, so that's my current schedule.
Right. Okay. So, what about the idea of you going to Toronto for the coach session?
Oh, okay, okay. Right. I haven't. That's something I haven't raised to Rebecca yet. Okay, but this is something I think I can ask. And oh yeah, by the way, we scheduled the Rebecca calls already. So you mentioned coach was
Yeah,
actually a day earlier, right? I think before collision.
I think it's the 23rd because collision's on the 26th.
Okay, okay, okay. 21st, 21st. Okay, all right. So all right.
It's like a day or a day or a four. Because collision's what? Collision's the 20. No.
I think collision is on 26, 26,
20.
26 to 29. I think that's the collision date.
Yeah, that's it. 26. So if it's on the 26th, and then okay, let me just check. Yeah. 26, 29. That's right. I'm just trying to load the email. It's a bit slow this morning. But yeah, it's a bit slow.
So sorry, you were saying that the coach
Okay.
date is the
You there?
when is the coach date?
Unbelievable.
What is it?
Unbelievable. Bloody internet. Unbelievable. Okay. So as soon as I know, look, I'll send you a message anyway about that. But okay, fine. Look, the internet's crap. And so what I'm going to do then is I'm probably going to arrange to go to be in Canada, maybe the 21st or the 22nd, just so I'm not jet lagged on the 23rd.
Okay.
And then then that'll be that really. And then we'll
Okay.
Also,
so
I was
coach is
thinking
sorry.
23rd, I think. Hold on a second. Workshop in Toronto. Yeah, 23rd of June.
All right, I see. All right, okay. So I think I'll make an inquiry for Rebecca to see what works. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you say, look, because the things we're working together, I just think, yeah, it might work in our favour. That's all.
Yeah.
Then what's his name? Nick Harmon, Florida
Right.
Nick.
Okay. Right.
I wonder whether or not inviting him to coach, inviting him to collision, might help get him a bit more aligned, if that makes sense, because it's not far away for him.
Yes.
And
right.
And it will give him an idea, and also, I mean, it depends how busy he is and all the rest of it. But I mean, for him to get from Miami to Toronto, right, it's a good few hours, but it's still almost an internal flight, really.
Right.
And he's also, yeah, I wonder whether it's in his area, so it might be a benefit to him. But it will be a benefit to us if we can spend some time with him. But I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Let's make the invite. Okay, I think that would probably work. Actually, I believe he would love to be at the place, given what I understand about the nature of his work and also what he's doing. Okay. Have you, I don't know if you got this message from him, but he's actually, the company he's working for now, they just got a pretty good client deal. Okay, I'm not disclosing the amount, but it's a pretty hefty amount on a monthly basis to do crypto investment work. Okay, so so
Oh,
basically, yeah. So basically, this is something I think obviously even whatever JCF or what he's doing currently is quite related to what the collision audience. Okay, so I think that's something definitely an environment. I think we should invite Nick in early. Okay, so that will make a very good trip actually. Okay,
yeah, if you
if
could
Nick
tie
can
that
come.
together, yeah, okay.
Right.
I'll chase that through and I'll ask him then, shall I?
Okay, sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Nick is
Okay.
already helping Amit. That's the good news, I think. Already helping Amit a bit about the
Oh,
strategy part.
that's working now, is it? That's
Right.
happening.
Yes, it's happening. If you go to the Slack channel, I'm not sure if you're in the JCF strategy. Okay, you can also go to that channel and you're going to see their conversations. Okay. Basically, some of the things that Nick is sharing is in the JCF strategy channel. Okay. And I recommended the dollar cost average
Uh-huh.
for Nick to implement first. And I mean, this is an update, and I think he's starting to work on that now. And right now, I'm placing him into 2 syncs per week. Okay, to see where the progress is going. Okay, so that's the current that's the current development. Okay,
That's
so
awesome news.
yes,
Yeah, that's
yes,
great
yes,
news.
it is,
I
it
was
is.
worried that we were losing Nick, so I'm glad that that's yeah, I'm glad that he's kind of re-engaged. I'm glad that he is engaging because I thought he was just going to get distracted for good reason. That would have been a shame because then we'd have to find somebody because I kind of like he's very giving, I think,
Mhm.
Nick.
Right,
That's
right. Okay.
and from the very first moment I mentioned it to him, he just gave. Right.
Right. It's good. Okay. So basically,
Right, this is my coffee.
all right. So I guess anything else you'd like to check on? Or to update? Okay. All right. I think probably getting the coach thing to schedule as early as possible. That's probably the one thing. On my part, my main thing now, one is strategy, okay, which is getting the bearish market strategy work. That's for this month. But also, the other is the 3 hacks. Okay, you know, and this is something I think we can discuss. So do you think we can start to have a chat on that this Wednesday? Okay, on your Wednesday night. Okay, all right. So this is something I like to make sure that we get started now.
Yeah.
Because it's important, but not urgent, but important stuff that will provide, I think, a definite purpose to us, to what we're doing. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Absolutely.
that's yeah. And I think the other thing I would say is I've continually been thinking about what would be like the kind of the one thing that that can kind of align everything that we're kind of doing into a single like a single path of activities, right? I mean, this is something I have actually been thinking about, and I do think that the 3 hacks will help to clarify and align something of that. Okay, but I guess this is something. um, how do you actually do things that's less but better, meaning that you actually encompass and you're achieving multiple things at once with just a single like a single activity each time within some given time frame. So yeah, I guess this is the topic or the thing I think would probably be most beneficial for us to, to discuss and to clarify. So the idea is that we are executing really on a singular path, but that is accumulating out towards, something we're aiming for, which for this year is $150 million assets under management, right? With wealth supporting multiple ICOs, multiple projects, starting potentially with JCF, the main fund, and then maybe other projects as well, and see how everything kind of builds upon each other. Okay, so this is, I guess this is something I actually have, been thinking about and wanting to sort of, have a discussion to have a clear idea and vision about this. Yeah. So, okay. All right.
Yeah, I think
So,
I think what you said about the free hags, if we get that lined up, then that's only going to help us with that clarity discussion, because it will.
okay. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. All right. And if you have anything, I guess, meanwhile, that's kind of related, or feel free to to throw or to share your thoughts. Okay. So we'll have the discussion.
Okay.
All right. All right. So thanks. That's a quick checking and of this. All right. So yeah, probably go back.
Happy
So
New Year,
appreciate
mate.
it. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks. All
Have
right.
a great New
It's
Year.
already. Yeah. Okay. Take care. Talk soon. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.